My Passion Book. Date written, July 23, 2018. By Oliver C Colobong. I can do all things for Christ, I am a man of fearless courage. Love what you do and you will never work for the rest of your life. If you want to achieve any things in your life, you must be focused, have patience, hardworking and determination. In short, PhD. As I remember my prime time, I was in grade 1, I like playing toys, I have wooden trucks and a simple Knight Raider automobile. With battery but don't have remote control, once you on the power it will automatically run itself and go anywhere, and if hit any object it suddenly stop and backward and find another way to find a place where it can enjoy itself with siren sounds like a police car on the street patrolling the city. I consider myself as one of the luckiest children during my early age, my family loves me so much. They take good care of me every time. I love playing toys outside the house. I played toys with some dirt on our backyard, and later on I wash my dirty hands and clothes, and my mom with her unconditional supports for me and whatever I want to play. My dear mom is always there and watching me all the times. I am the first child son of the family and yet the first grandson of my whole family. Upon my cognitive developments during my childhood, I have no worries all the time. I love to eat exotic foods like a frog from the farm, especially fried frog with ketchup, fried rat from the farm, we have big lizard, biawak, and my dad catch it from the farm, ararawan, or mole cricket, birds, billet tuling, idak duck are some of the living creatures, and I like the way my dad and mom cook the best dishes of my times. They did everything for me to become satisfied and happy all the time. But, not in the way they spoiled me. They always mention every time when they talk to me if I got mistakes, they never hesitate to confront me. My mom tell me not to do it again, my son. Uli ulit wag mo na gagawin yan and laging sinasabi ni nanay. This is the words that I am always remember when my mom spoke to me when I got mistake. I learned how to hold hammer when I was young. I saw my dad the way he did carpentry works. I remember my first time hammering a small nails into the bamboo piece and I hit my fingernail and turned into dark bluish color. I was so frustrated of the pain I feel. They say you will never learn until you try, and even sometimes gives you pain to remember the experience. Starting on that day, I learned how to use jigsaw and cut some bamboo and woods. I learned how to make my own trucks made of wood, and I love my masterpiece for the first time. The next day I made my dog house for Tagpie, a square-type box with a gable metal roof in red color with curtain of the door. Tagpie don't like to sleep inside his home, he prefer to sleep underneath the cooking place of our house. Sometimes, Kunung, use the dog house for her to sleep during noon time, maybe she feels relaxing to experience such wonderful box type and she think it's her own house. Until one day I grow up as a man, I was in high school. I love to draw house of my dream. During my school days I already finished the plan, and when the time of vacation I made the model of my dream house. This is my first time to build a miniature model for my house. It was year 1998. I am a third-year student. I make my model during summer time. I love doing 3D model. It's like a Pringles that once you pop, you can never stop. I work overtime and stay late at night just to finish my masterpiece. The house is made of two-story residential house with a swimming pool on the top of it. The color of the roof is in red-orange and the wall is off-white with wide window opening just to allow maximum lights from the outside during the day. There is a big and wide terrace on the second floor, where you can have family party, and adjacent is the swimming pool that can accommodate 20 persons at the time. I love my first house model, looks cozy and elegant, interesting, and it's possible to be my house one day. After my secondary school, I went for a long-time vacation to a province of Isabela and bound to La Union for less than a week of good rest. We enjoy swimming from the beach with my relatives and go back home to my comfort zone. Long story short, after 4 years of college times I started my thesis during summer vacation, and serve as an advance preparation for my upcoming school year for the final requirements before graduation. I did a lot of school models during those days, and I can't resist to present every single semester for a simple scale model for my plates. It's my habitual to present a model as part of my project just to enhance my capability to improve my skills, and yet I'll become the best thesis of all times in individual category. I did all the requirements for my masterpiece without any help from my batchmate and schoolmates rather. One of the interesting part of my thesis is the construction of a model for the high-rise building consist of 84-story height mixed-use building and it will construct in the middle of Manila Bay. It was so amazing with built-in light for the core of the structure with natural water during presentation. I completed all the requirements 1 week before deliberation and I did not feel any pressure on that time. I deliver my proposal with joy, happiness in my heart with the help of my family, friends and the guidance of Almighty God and I did it. I find a way to enhance my modeling skills and fortunately I found it overseas. I meet my fellow countrymen Edwin Jasmine and Bernard Dela Cruz as my mentor for starting my first job as a model maker in Singapore. My boss is a Singaporean Chinese. He owned and managed a small modeling company since 1983. On his age a tall and slim handsome old man with less hair and yet a good mentor after all. We go through hard times and trials, until one day I want to give up because I cannot longer hold my anger because every day he's always scolding me for all the things I have done, and he thinks I did not do anything correctly. Until one day I discovered it to myself a defense on how to get rid of a difficult boss. And our friendship becomes closer and every day I work with confidence by the help of my supervisor Mr. Chung, a Malaysian guy. While look after the company, my supervisor is a good friend of mine and he motivates me about modeling jobs, and good advisor. He shared some of his tips and techniques and skills of how to make model presentable and attractive. My first project is I remember the Tong Fo model. It is 3-story landed house and located at one of the remote areas of Singapore. At this time I am using manual cutting. I don't know yet how to use laser but at the same time I'm practicing Corel Raw X3 as my tools for creating detail parts of the building. Until one day I learned how to use Corel Draw software and at the same time I'm using laser for the first time. There are rules on how to use laser to prevent damages of the lens and the materials that we use. You need to supervise it every time. Sometimes if you miss to look after it can cause fire on the laser. Because laser has gas chemical to use cutting and it's a must to take care of it during operations. On this project I experienced such very hurtly words from my boss. You feel like sickening of words, he says. I got some mistakes from my work and he can no longer hold his temper and tell me, do not spoil the quality of city model. Deep inside of me is pain and I can't eat my dinner at that time.